Welcome, everyone. I'll do that again. I'd like to call this meeting to order and welcome everyone to the City of Bremerton Parks and Recreation Commission meeting. Today is Tuesday, December 2nd. Thank you everyone for being here. First up on our agenda tonight, we have approval of minutes from our September 23rd meeting. Hopefully commissioners have had a chance to review those. I will make a motion to approve the minutes as they were written.
I make a motion to second.
All right. All in favor of approving the minutes from the September 23rd meeting, please say aye. Aye.
I think I have to abstain, Ben. Is
Oh,
that
you
correct?
were,
I wasn't
okay,
there.
you were not.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't remember that. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Okay, well, so that will pass unanimously with 3 commissioner members voting aye and 1 abstention. All right, thank you, Commissioner Waterman. All right, next up, we have approval of tonight's agenda. The commissioners have any questions or comments on tonight's agenda?
Move that we accept tonight's agenda for December 22nd or 2nd, 2025.
All right, I will second that motion. All in favor of approving tonight's agenda, please say aye.
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 All right, that will pass unanimously. Thank you. All right, next up, we have public comment. So this is folks here tonight. If they would like to speak, please just identify yourself and I will give you the floor. If not, if you just want to hang out and see what we're doing, that's fine as well.
Okay, so we're in the agenda section now.
We are in public comment
Brian.
section right now.
The owl's not working.
So yeah, if there is anything,
Leads into number
Camera
five,
could
doesn't it?
use, maybe
so
Okay,
it's not working.
yeah, I'm the scoutmaster for the troop that is located in the park. And I remember dealing with the other 2 individuals, and thankfully that's a no longer. I've heard good stuff about the leadership now, for the parks. And so obviously some things will change at the park and that'll change how we do business. So not completely, but mostly that's why I'm here. And my name is Rob Miller, by the way. I should probably have prefaced that.
Yeah.
Yes.
well, thanks for being here, Rob.
Yeah, thank you.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
All right, anyone else have anything else? All right, thank you guys for being here, appreciate it. All right, do we have anyone else, other than our commissioners and staff? I think it's just us, all right. All right, well, let's move into staff reports and updates. The first one up, we have the Forest Ridge Park update. Director, is this something that you're speaking to tonight?
We'll have Brian lead this one, but Brian, on your video setting, on the bottom left, click the arrow up and see if the owl is an option for your video.
It's on there now. You're speaking through the owl.
Right, but like all I'm seeing is you. I don't see
it's not
anybody
picking-
else in the room.
It's not picking up other people in the room like it usually does.
No,
Gotcha.
yeah.
I'm thinking maybe that right there, personalized audio isolation.
Well, it's audio if you want video.
You
Yeah.
know?
There we go.
So
Ow.
within the Zoom app, you should be able to click up on the video and it might give you integrated webcam option or owl option.
Hey, there we go.
Oh,
Now
We're
let,
here.
let me do some work on my end here.
yeah, I get rid of your background.
That's what I've got to do.
Yeah.
Whoops.
That's not bad background.
It's on the ferry.
It's kind of fun.
Hey, right
There you go.
There we
Okay.
go. Look at your IT now, Brian.
I'm not IT yet.
Okay, so first up, we have Forest Ridge Park update.
Yeah, okay, as you know that we have placed some rocks, at least in my, my view of the park and my time of visiting there, it seems like there's been, less presence of people there.
Correct.
We've had some folks move around some rocks and we kind of figured that was gonna happen, but to give you an update on where we're at with the gates. I spoke with Jeff this morning And all of the, materials have come in. They've already been, laser cut and, degreased, and pretty much laid out. So we're at the fabrication, part of things. He just got pulled off on an emergency on a different city job. So he's gonna wrap that up for a different department and then he's right back on our job again. So, still coming soon. So that's kind of the update that I have for Forest Ridge at this time.
Any other commissioners have any questions, comments?
Did Carlos mention to you, I texted him about those signs that are the road going up to Hartford. There was some sawhorses there that says can't blocked.
Yes,
Did they find where they got thrown into the bushes?
yes, it is.
Okay,
Thank you for that.
yeah.
Anybody online? Commissioner Watermer, Commissioner Dawson, anything online?
No, it's just great to see it moving forward.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Thanks for that update, Brian.
You betcha.
So next up, we have the pros plan update.
Okay, and you can see the screen, right?
We sure can, Director.
Okay, perfect. So obviously we've been making it through our process and checking things off. First of all, I didn't apologize for not being there. You don't want me there right now. I've been sick the last couple days, but hopefully I'll be back and doing well for the presentation tomorrow night. If not, you might get some interesting things out of me on medication. So it could make it really fun. No. So we've been making it through the pros plan. Obviously, all the work that we've done this fall, submitted it to SEPA, the SEPA checklist to the Department of Community Development for their review and comment. Have had some conversations with Public Works regarding some of the mapping. The timing of a lot of our mapping and various plans within the city. You wish they would all coincide, kind of similar to community development going through their update to the comp plan last year. It would have been great if we did it simultaneously. So in their comp plan last year, they referenced the 2020 pros plan just because that was the most recent approved plan at the time. Same thing goes with the mapping for some of the engineering maps that were provided back in 2007 as far as trail systems and connecting paths. Basically the bike ped plan. They're looking at updating that, but it won't be started before the pros plan moves forward. So the current maps that we have in place are really what's there and what has been approved. And we'll look at doing a potential amendment once they update those, because there are a significant number of maps in the pros plan that come from engineering. They just don't have them approved or worked on at this point. So we'll have to continue, which is in the plan right now, continue with the 2007 maps that are there. But otherwise, internally, that's really the kind of the major conversation that I've had with city departments. We had a study session in November with city council. So went and presented to them about 45 minutes to an hour, received a few questions. Councilor Mockler provided some comments related to some conservation and environmental aspects of our goals. And so those will be updated prior to the plan being officially approved on the 17th. But tomorrow will be an opportunity for the public to be able to provide comment. It won't necessarily be an interaction between staff and council as far as questions. The study session was really their opportunity to do that. Tomorrow I'll have a presentation for probably about 20-25 minutes or so on the pros plan, very similar to what you've seen the last few months from me. Really more of a summary. As we know, a 200-page document's hard to summarize. So we'll key in on the public process that went through, that the pros plan went through, what was taken into account, and some of the maybe some major changes or additions that we are proposing for the 2026, but otherwise we won't go page by page at all on the plan tomorrow. Like I said, I'll create a presentation and then it'll be an opportunity for the public to ask comments at the meeting during that public hearing tomorrow. This is one that if we have council or commission members that are able to be present would be great. Not that you need to get up and comment if you feel obligated to, would really appreciate it. Former commission member Jim sent an email to council last week, which was awesome, just sharing his support and the amount of work that the commissioners put into the process and into the plan, and that it's a well-written plan. In his opinion, I didn't reach out and ask him to do that. He did that on his own, which was awesome. But yeah, anybody that can make it tomorrow would be great. The council meeting starts at 5:30 at the Norm Dix building, and we are essentially the second item on the agenda. There'll be a brief presentation about the budget, and I'll get into that a little bit later during the budget discussion, but I would suspect that I'll be up and talking probably by 6:15 or so is my guess. So if you can make it and you're going to be a little bit late, no problem. But yeah, so the public hearing's tomorrow, and then 2 weeks after that will be is the scheduled adoption of the plan. So there won't be a presentation necessarily at that. Council will provide comments at that point if they have any, but most likely we'll open it up for approval as long as there aren't any major questions or concerns from their end. So. Any
All right.
questions on pros?
Director, do you know if the mayor's already seen the plan?
He has. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, I've provided it to him and discussed especially items that coincide with his his mayor priorities that he sets. So just to make him aware of various projects that coincide with what he sees as key items that need to be addressed.
Yeah. I see somebody with their hand raised online. Just to let you know, this really isn't, if you've got public comment, this really isn't the time for that. I didn't know when they joined, but just wanted to throw that out there. Do any commissioners have any other questions or comments on the pros plan update?
No, thanks.
All right. Thank you, Director. All right, next up, we have 2026 budget update.
Okay, and I won't take real long on this. Just as a reminder, 2025 was the first year of a 2-year budget for the city. City's never really done a 2-year budget process before, so this was kind of new. I've done them before, and everything has great intentions, whether it's a 1 or 2 year. So it's been kind of an interesting process for this second year. I think a lot of people have realized it's hard to just copy and paste what was in the previous year just because you have a full 12 months of changes that have occurred. Obviously, negotiations with unions, staffing changes, a lot of different internal changes to budgets have occurred. But really, the whole process this year for the 2026 budget has been pretty streamlined. The 2025 year was the budget was approved essentially at a deficit, so they ran this year's budget using reserves, and this next year is balanced based on the use of reserves as well. With that said, they do take into account opportunities where we do have staffing changes and delays within those staffing, so there are some savings that come throughout. But really, you're still going to have to pull from the reserve. So one thing that I do know that council's going to focus on this next year that they didn't have as many discussions on this year is looking at what are some ways that the city can look at addressing different types of revenues that they're not taken advantage of at this point, and whether those are state mandated revenues that the city has the ability to leverage for, or if those are, various local taxes, those types of things. They're going to look at any opportunity they can to try to increase some revenues into the city without looking towards making any sort of program reductions or staffing reductions. So they will be, like I said, getting a presentation tomorrow from the finance department on what the proposed budget looks like. As far as our department for this next year, the major changes that we have is in this current fiscal year in 2025, we did not have any proposed rates and fee changes. So I've gone through all of those, and we did propose some changes. Most everything was about 3 to 5% increase. So nothing astronomical, or we were rounding some numbers off that made more sense. Those types of things to try to increase some of our revenues, but to try to also stay competitive in the various markets that we're involved in. So council did approve those rate changes in November, and so those are going into effect starting on January 1. So that also includes rate changes at Cemetery, rate changes at Gold Mountain Golf Complex. So any rates and fees that are managed within our department did see some changes. Like I said, nothing astronomical at this point that we've addressed, more just kind of keeping up with trying to keep up with inflation for the most part. So department capital is something that we aren't taking on a lot of new projects this next year. We have a few projects, as you're well aware, that are currently in motion. And a lot of this last year was spent on the development of our 6 and 20-year capital plans, as opposed to implementing anything right away. But we're going to try to take advantage of any opportunity we have to match something that is in our pros plan that we may not have budgeted for, but there could be some funding available through grants. And Colette will speak to that later on when we're talking about the dog park. So we don't have any new capital projects that are planned at this point for 2026, but we can still do a mid-year adjustment and include those into our budget. But the current capital that we have in 25 that are incomplete will just roll over into 26 so that we can get those projects completed. And it really give us an opportunity this winter as a commission to talk about priorities and where we want to look at as far as those key projects that we want to hit moving forward in 27, 28 especially. Let's see. So yeah, just kind of talked about some general city budget notes. And then the budget meetings, council had one work session in November. It did note that there was going to be two separate budget meetings, but they decided, mostly because it's a year 2 of a 2-year budget, that they only wanted to meet on November 13th. So the November 14th meeting did not happen. And then they did already hold their first public hearing on November 19th. Their original plan was to adopt the budget December 17th, but with a few council members coming to the end of their terms, they wanted to get it locked in so then they could submit to the county the adopted budget and not have to try to get that processed the last couple weeks in December. They received very few comments at their public hearing on the 19th, so then they chose to move the adoption of that budget to tomorrow. And so that's what we will follow at the meeting tomorrow. There's essentially 2 items on the agenda tomorrow: the adoption of the budget and then the pros public hearing.
Tim, I got a question. I'm going to venture to say that the answer is yes, but I wanted to just confirm, are athletics going up as well for fees next year? Softball, basketball, pickleball.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. I mean,
Yep.
yeah, pretty much across the board. How about like
Yep.
rental fees here at like Sheridan or say,
Yep. Every
everything?
single room. And again,
Okay.
I'm talking 3 to 5%. So
Gotcha,
some small
gotcha,
changes.
gotcha.
As you know, our adult athletes, any change is tough. So we'll make sure, and I'll join Scott in coaches meetings, manager meetings, and help
Yeah,
explain reasonings for those,
sure.
and support him on that. Yeah, shelter rentals,
Thank you. Yeah,
plots, everything. Our senior center, we are upping our annual fees again, not by a whole lot. I think right now, an annual membership to the senior center is $20. It will now be 25. And so we'll work on getting some various marketing out there that helps explain the reasons for our changes.
great. All right, any commissioners have any other questions or comments on what the directors presented on budget? Thanks, Tim, appreciate it.
Yeah.
All right, next up, we have commissioner openings and recruitment.
Okay. And Ben, feel free to chime in
Yeah.
too, but I figured we
Yeah,
could
for
tag team
sure.
on this one.
Yeah,
So we received 6 applications, which was awesome, for the commission. We set up interviews. We had 5 that ended up interviewing. We held those the week, I think it's towards the end of the week of, like around November 20th, 21st, I think around there is when we held
that's right.
those. So I thought we had some really great people that applied, various passions and open minds, and looking at locations of where they represent within the community. Obviously, trying to keep this commission diverse and working on finding some new members that um, we think can be strong collaborators to the group. Um, so we held those meetings. I have one other one I haven't told you about yet, Ben, that's reached out.
Yeah,
A previous commission member that's interested in coming back, hasn't been on the commission for about 15 years or so, but has interest. It's actually one of the first people I met when I came to town, set up a meeting with me, has a strong
okay.
passion for dog parks. So that's a project obviously we're looking at. But yeah, so we currently have 3 openings. One potentially anticipated, haven't heard on that yet. We may have a long distance traveler that's planning to come back because wherever she's at is horrible and she misses us.
Aw.
Seattle, probably.
But the ultimate plan is to have everybody on board and at least have 6 members ready to go for our end of November or end of January meeting. And so most likely our new members will make recommendations to the mayor this month, and it'll go in front of council probably in early January um, for council consideration sometime in mid-January before our next meeting. But yeah, Ben, any comments?
Yeah, I just appreciated you even reaching out to me and offering me the chance to be part of this. I unfortunately couldn't make it in person, but I was able to do it over Teams with the director. And yeah, just like he talked about, we had some folks that are definitely names will be put forward for sure. Yeah, I thought the process went very well. Unfortunately, we had one applicant that we didn't show up and rescheduled, and then they didn't show up again. So they will not be joining the commission. I'll tell you that. But yeah, I thought it went very well, and I look forward to having some new faces at our meetings.
Cool.
So what's next? We got one more maybe then, Director?
Yeah, so I'll chat with you about that and
Perfect.
get a time set up to have that conversation, and then we will decide who we would like to have for me to take forward and have a discussion with the mayor.
That sounds great. All right. Any commissioners have any other questions or comments on how this process has gone or?
Yep, excited.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, it's good we even had applications. We've had openings for a long time. So
Yes.
hopefully get them all filled up. All right, next up, we have a new business. So, it's the Pendergast Regional Park Field Improvement Project.
Yeah, so I'll take this one.
All right, thanks, Colette, please.
So this concept is a 30% concept drawing that was completed in April of 2023. This project has been a big priority for the city for a long time. So this is just an FYI, we're moving it forward with the same consultant, Bruce Stees and Associates, who designed this concept. So it's actually a change order to their contract. It's going to City Council December 17th. The project had already been identified as being funded within our Parks Capital Fund, a plan for this year. We just hadn't gotten to it yet with all of our other projects. So this will take the concept from 30% to 90%. We're gonna get us a little bit closer in terms of knowing what our cost estimates are gonna be. Potentially looking at phasing the project. It's at this point, when it was estimated, the cost estimate at 30%, it was like 3.3 million. And I'm sure it's gone up since then. So, yeah, so we, just moving the project forward essentially is what we're doing, the design.
So next up is council on the 17th
Mhm.
to just show them what we got going on.
Yeah, we're just increasing
green
the
light.
scope of work to the
Sure.
contract that's already funded.
Yeah.
Um,
Cool.
yeah.
Exciting.
Mhm.
And commissioners have any questions or comments on what's going on up at Pendergast? Good stuff.
That's great.
All right. Next up, we have Kitsap Lake Park Renovation Project, some playground concepts.
Yeah, so we had 11 concepts that we got feedback on through Survey Monkey. We had 114 responses during that time window, and the combined results, we kind of asked, what is your favorite playground? And then besides your top choice, what is the other ones that you like?
Yeah.
And the combined total, 66% liked option F. And so we looked at, and then the next highest one was 44%. So it was by far and away the preferred concept. Next slide. But when we asked in an open-ended question, what play features would you like to see in the future playground, swings was the top choice. Not, that's not surprising. There's no other kind of play equipment that really equates to that feeling of being able to swim through the air like that. The challenge is that it is a small footprint, the playground. That upland area of Kitsap Lake is pretty tight, we
It's
have.
a destination park, actually.
Yeah, that upland area had never been developed before.
Yeah.
This is the first time,
Right.
and there just wasn't a lot of space for a playground, but we wanted to provide some. So our next task is, we were hoping to have a concept to show tonight, but we're still massaging it. We're working with the playground rep of that concept F and seeing what we can do as far as adding swings and what hoping we can keep the flavor of what is existing there. Maybe just, I think in the next slide, it shows, the preferred concepts large. So taking away the climbing rock and some of those rocks in front,
Yeah.
keeping the rest of the structure hopefully intact and seeing if we can fit swings. So we're still massaging that. So we should have something for you to look at the next meeting.
What are we thinking, Colette? Like two swings? Like if we were gonna do it?
Yeah,
Okay.
just one bay of
Yeah,
two belt
one bay of
swings.
two.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Oh.
It's just tight on space,
Do
yeah.
we get to pick the colors of the equipment too, or is that just a set?
No, we can pick
Yeah,
the color,
yeah.
so, I would, like to see some different color options. Yeah, and I'll be bringing those to you as well, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's exciting.
What's the ballpark on cost on that?
230.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. And I'm sorry, is this the same folks that just hadn't?
No, it's
It's a different-
actually a
okay.
different playground manufacturer that we've never used
Okay,
before.
okay.
Yeah. Our last 6 playgrounds, by far and away, Landscape Structures
Yeah.
have been the one voted in, and they have really good equipment. But yeah, they were in the running as well. But no, this is a Burke Buell is the company. And there is some equipment, and Brian's familiar with the company that it's been installed in Kitsap County parks before, so.
Oh,
yeah,
okay,
yeah.
awesome. Awesome. It's held up all right, Brian? I mean, in your experience, yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
That's neat.
that's
Where,
fun for something new.
do you know where they're out of? Do you, where the company's out of?
Do you happen to
Just
know?
right across the water.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
but
Cool.
I
Locals.
think, yeah, I don't know where it's manufactured,
Yeah.
but
Okay.
yeah,
But they're local
they're
rep,
local,
yeah.
local rep,
Got
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Neat. Well, all right, well, that's exciting.
Yeah.
And they were good to work with.
Good. All right. Any commissioners have any other questions or comments on Kitsap Lake?
Nope.
Yeah, exciting stuff. We've got a lot going on.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
Only other thing I'll add is just so you're aware, as part of the feedback process, we were able to work with the school district and get the survey into Kitsap Lake Elementary School. So those that are affected right in that area, and it went through the
That's fine.
Kitsap Lake Neighborhood Group. So that active group that they have there. So we really tried to reach out and get feedback from those that'll be using it more day to day than those that are just there for boating.
Yeah. No, thank you for adding that, Director. That's smart. Sounds good. All right, last up in new business, we have a proposed Stephenson Canyon off leash area.
Yeah, so before I get into the survey results, we have an opportunity to apply for a Department of Commerce grant. And every so often our city lobbyist comes to us and say, we're in a good position to apply for some money, and this is the district that we should be looking at. So for the past 2 sessions, it's been in the 35th district, which has been Kitsap Lake area. And so we've been successful at getting funding to help with that project. This time, they said focus on the 23rd district, which is East Bremerton. And also, as you know, as being commissioners, centralized dog park has been a high priority for the past 3 PROS plans. So that's 16 years or 18 years that it's been a high priority. We've never identified where in the city it could go. But Stephenson Canyon, the property, I mean, the city has had it for 67 years. It's never been like officially programmed for recreational use, besides the small trails, informal trails, which are limited, unlike Forest Ridge and Madrona trails that have some like longer loops that are flatter. Stephenson Canyon is a canyon. So you're kind of going down and then back up. I think it's used mainly by people kind of using it as a cross through, like they live in the neighborhood and walk through. That's how I've seen it used. I've seen some people like walking their dog and stuff there, but it's not a very active place. And I would love to be able to make it more active, and having an off-leash dog area is one way of doing that. So the grant application that we would submit is in January is the timing. We wanted to get feedback from the public. What do you think? We've never asked the public, and we've asked the public, do you want to adopt centralized dog park? Yes, but we've never asked them, what do you think about Stephenson Canyon? So we put together a little video so we could show where we're talking about. And did you guys get to see the video that asked people to provide the survey? It was on our Facebook.
No, I'm sorry.
I didn't.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Do we
Do you want me
share
to
it?
try to? Yeah.
Yeah.
do you want
Yes,
me to try to
that'd be
share
great,
it?
Director.
It's cute.
It's another video of me.
Yeah.
You're famous.
I'm starting to get recognized in public.
Uh-oh. Better
Oh,
take
you're
that
that
duck
big-
gear
you're-
off then.
Yeah, you're that guy with the duck umbrella.
Yeah.
Definitely a target.
Yeah. That was funny. The reactions that we
Oh, yeah.
got.
Let me know. Let me get it pulled up here.
So the other thing about Steps Canyon is it's primarily been used as sort of a lay down area
Yes.
and for
Yeah.
maintenance, you know,
For sure.
the greenhouses are there, so it hasn't had a lot of like public use.
Yeah.
For that reason as well.
Definitely.
Um,
Is that what we're still really using? I haven't been up there in a long time, but it's.
but we haven't, Public Works needed to use the lower area as a lay down area when they were doing some.
Yes, I remember that.
a few
Yes.
Years ago, but
Yep.
since then, we cleaned it up a lot, yeah, so it's been cleaned up. Yeah.
Okay, nice. We can see that, Director.
Okay, let me know if you can't hear it.
Okay,
Yeah, the music's not
I
going,
cannot hear it.
Okay, I can hear it on my end.
yeah.
Let me fix that.
Speaker.
And this is like the main entrance I'm looking at here where you
Yeah,
drive into,
River
there's, I see the
Street.
industry listed there, yeah.
Yeah,
Shoot. Let's see.
What road is that off of? What is that? Is it
Sylvan.
Sylvan, thank you.
yeah.
Yeah.
I always get Sylvan and Sharon
Yeah,
confused with
Sylvan,
it.
yeah.
Did you hear that?
No,
No,
Okay. Damn.
it's that very
Okay.
first left, going off when you come off the Warren Avenue Bridge there, yeah, right there.
Is that where they have the flowers growing?
Yeah.
You got it, got it. Exactly.
There's presents up there, yeah,
They're probably all back in there now. They've all been taken down for the winter.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think I remember how to do this. Just a second.
That's probably quite the job, Claude. Do you know how long it takes them to round all those up? All those flowers?
So, yeah.
I bet, I mean, that's a major
Well,
problem.
let me see if I can do it.
Yeah.
I think I got it. I just need to. It's in the screen when I go to screen share. I think yeah, share sound. There it is. That's the one I kept screwing up for the PFIP meeting.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so if it doesn't work now, I don't know what to tell you.
Okay.
You can see the screen now?
Yes, we
Yeah.
can.
You wanna
Okay.
start?
Director of
with
Parks
Amy?
and Recreation for the city of Bremerton.
We do
Can
have
you hear that?
sound. Yes, we do.
Yeah.
Yes, we
Sound?
can. We got sound.
Yeah,
Hi everyone, I'm Tim Barker, Director of Parks and Recreation for the City of Bremerton. Today we're here at Stephenson Canyon, evaluating this open space area for an off-leash dog park. A centralized dog park was identified as a high priority in our recent update to our Park, Recreation, and Open Space Plan, which is scheduled for adoption by City Council this next month. We'd love to hear what you think. Please take a short survey and share your thoughts about developing an off-leash area here. The results will be reviewed at our December 2nd Parks and Recreation Commission meeting. Thanks for taking a few minutes to share your input. We really appreciate it.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
so it's on Facebook,
Yeah.
you wanna like it.
How many people did we hear from on that survey?
221.
Wow, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I just closed it yesterday to get the results together.
So Colette, we're talking about that lower area
Yeah,
that was used as a laydown area during the project, like you were talking about.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
we
was
let
a-
Public Works come in there
yeah,
and.
there was former like housing projects,
Yes.
with that cul-de-sac
Yeah.
there. Did you guys get the survey results that I sent you in
Yes.
email today? Yeah,
Yeah.
so this is basically a duplication of that. You know, getting a sense of how familiar everyone is with Stephenson Canyon, how often they visit, do they own a dog? I kind of have a summary of this information in a next slide, so let's just keep moving so we can kind of go through these more quickly. Finding out how likely they would be to use it, how supportive they are of adding an off-leash dog area. And then, what benefits do you think it would bring? Obviously recreation, exercise for dogs,
Yep.
social opportunities for dog owners, activating this space. So a lot of people said, just they don't feel safe to go there now. So having some activation, That was the increased park use and community
Yeah.
engagement. What concerns, I mean, these are kind of most of the concerns that I saw, other than the ones that were specific to the site, like concerns about impacting the wildlife or impacting the stream, or concerns about impacting the steep slopes. Most of the other concerns were kind of more just general dog park concerns, aggressive dogs or dog owners that
Sure.
aren't picking up after their dog, and
course.
that sort of thing. And so I think the key thing here would be to develop a volunteer group that could kind of help us with the management and sort of the having them part of, maybe it's a committee that helps us design it, if this goes through, that they can kind of be part
Sure.
of the development and kind of take some ownership of it. I think that would help us with that.
Was that
So-
mentioned in the survey and hoping to have a?
No, it was not mentioned in the survey. I wish we would have, to see like, what is your
Just to see,
interest
yeah.
in being part of that? Yeah.
Okay.
But I think that if this project moves forward, we've
Yeah.
got opportunities to reach out to people and see if they want to be involved. Let's keep moving on the next slide. And then what features would they like to see? And I see this as kind of, what are all the features? And then like, let's look at how we could phase this based off of the funding opportunities that we have. But
Sure.
obviously fencing is the big one. I
Yes.
mean, it's gonna require a lot of fencing
Of course.
for kind of the area that I have in mind. And then water, having drinking water and water for maybe a dog wash area. Seating and potential, there is some shade there with trees, but there could be a shelter there in the future. I think would be well used. Not as much interest in like the agility play equipment than I thought, but people just really need space. And I think that the walkability, being that it's in such a dense
Yeah.
neighborhood space, there was a lot of that I live near there, or people would say, oh, I live near there, I'm not sure how I feel about that, because if you've lived next to a public open space that hasn't really been utilized for a long time, there is going to be a big change there. So the next slide kind of gives my synopsis of kind of looking at the survey results. So 76% support it, 62 strongly, 13 somewhat. 62% said that they would be very or somewhat likely to use it. And then, 78% own a dog. So based on that, it seems to kind of, those results align with what we also see with people wanting a centralized dog park in the city. The top benefits identified by the survey respondents, that we've kind of gone over these. So many of the comments though said that they think that it would reduce off-leash dogs conflicts in other parks. If there was a centralized dog park, maybe you'd see less people using other parks as off-leash areas. And then, like I said, providing a central walkable amenity that's kind of missing in that area. The major concerns were impacts to wildlife, impacts to vegetation, steep slopes, erosion, creek proximity. Most of those can be addressed through the design and the location. Some of the other concerns, like I said, more of how you manage it, kind of the social concerns. The other big impact to the neighborhood, barking noise is, that's kind of would definitely be an impact. And then parking limitations. There's Lewis Avenue is a low volume road. In order to get that lower area, maybe we can go to the next slide, because I have a map on this next slide to show. So this is Lewis Street here. So the area that we're looking at where Tim was walking is this open area here. To access it, you would need to, I think we would direct if this were to proceed, direct most of the traffic here to Birch Street. There's a parking lot here, potentially could be expanded. And then you walk down a trail to get to that open area. So it's not accessible if you're using a wheelchair. So the accessible entrance would be this Lewis Street area where there could be an accessible parking stall at that lower.
Cause that's how steep, because of how steep it is?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And in fact, because it's so steep, if this were to go through, I would recommend that the bullpen gate entry be up at the top. So you can let your dogs go in and have that trail actually fenced off. Because it's not something you want to navigate with excited dogs on a leash kind of pulling you down, you know?
Sure.
So these are kind of the recommendations to cite it in this already disturbed open space. So we're avoiding this. You can see the contour lines here around the creek. Those are the steep slopes. So we're completely avoiding that.
Steep down there.
Fully fenced, double gated entries. We don't use this upper area. We have a structure up here that we used to sort our bark with our playground chips and stuff, and we don't use that anymore. So that it's something that we've been wanting to remove, and that will open up some area that there could be a small enough space for like a small dog off leash area up there, and then the large dog area below, because that's something that was also requested, is having that separation.
Yeah. Nice.
There's some drainage issues. You could see in the video, there was some standing water there that could have to be addressed.
Yeah.
Kind of the amenities that kind of address the top concerns are the waste stations, receptacles, year-round drainage solutions, shade, seating, water. And then, like I said, the parking, kind of mitigating the impacts to that Lewis Street trailhead would be to direct the traffic up to that Birch Street trailhead. And I think that it would also provide a lot of people that could just walk there too, that would in the area would use it.
Is there parking at the, like where you were talking about where the handicap parking was, is there pavement over there? I can't picture it.
No, this with there's pavement. Are you talking about over here?
Yes.
Yeah, there's a road, and then we would need to create like a ADA spot
Okay.
on the road. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you will about those.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Picture that.
Yeah. There's currently like a chain across it.
Yeah.
But that would need to be modified.
But if we did that, then we'd be like ADA compliant to where those folks could.
Yeah,
That's like-
we'd have access to, at the lower
It's pretty
section.
level there, actually, when you.
Yeah.
That area.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I mean, there is a crown to the road, so to actually make it ADA compliant will
Yeah.
require overlay there, but, it's doable for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
Colette, what's next?
Well, so we're looking for the commission's recommendation as to whether or not to apply for funding for this project.
Yeah. All right, any commissioners have any other questions or comments on this?
Been to the canyon before, so how isolated is it? It sounds like you would park and then you walk down a hill, and is it visible? I mean, if you're a young woman with a dog wanting to take your dog off leash.
You're definitely in the woods.
Mhm.
But at the lower area, if you want to stay visible to the upper area, I don't know if you probably can't see where I'm pointing to, but yeah, where the cursor is, there's
Yes.
visibility from the upper parking lot down to the cul-de-sac at that spot, if you wanted to stay visible right there. Yeah. But yeah, you're definitely in a wooded area.
Okay.
Yeah, the
and
parking
then-
area is pretty wide open view looking down into
Okay.
that spot.
Okay, great, thank you. Also, what is the status of the dog area at Pendergrass Park? Is that still, I have been gone a few months, as you know, is that still something that is being used by residents for off-leash dog play? Yes?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, but still open, and that's more, on the, way other side of town from where we're talking about right here.
Yeah. The reason I was asking, I wondered if we would get some comments from the community if we just had one space, but we have that as well. They're in opposite parts of the city, which is
Correct.
nice.
Yes.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Yeah, no, thank you, Commissioner Waterman. Commissioner Dawson, you have something, please?
Yeah, I'm just curious, you mentioned, Amy mentioned Pendergast Park. What's our experience with the dog park there in terms of costs and sanitation and things?
Brian, did you want to speak to that as far as the maintenance side?
From a maintenance side, we do repair work to the fencing and any damage that's done to the park currently. I'm working with a group called Kitsap Leadership, who is wanting to take on that park as kind of a sponsorship and raise some funds to do some improvements there. So that's kind of in the works, but nothing totally official on that yet. But yeah, it's a highly used area, and being on opposite sides of the city, I think would benefit the citizens. But as for maintenance, we would probably look to partner with a nonprofit dog group to help manage that, because we're not set up as M&O to manage that.
Yeah, I think that'd be great. It also involves more citizens in the Parks Department. I like any opportunities for that. Colette had mentioned, the idea of maybe volunteers helping with policing the area and stuff like that. And I just want to make sure, and before we get that put in place, that Brian, that you have enough staff to pick up dog poop.
That's where the self-policing,
Yeah.
and that's where this other group is gonna come in handy. And so, and that's gonna help define the rules. If we can get a group of folks together that are gonna help patrol that and help be involved and take a little sense of pride and ownership into that area.
That'd be great. Yes. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Commissioner Dawson. Why got any questions?
No, this is exciting.
Comments on
Yeah.
this? I mean, Colette, would you like a motion
I
to?
think a motion would be really helpful, yeah.
Yeah, so I will make a motion to proceed with the city trying to secure funds for this project via a grant application. That was a long-winded proposal. How about I propose to move forward with the Stephenson Canyon Dog Park as presented.
I second it.
All right.
I was
All right.
giving them a chance.
All in favor of moving forward with this proposal, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right. Green light, Colette.
Thank you, that's great.
That's awesome. Something that we've been talking about for so long,
So
and I
long.
think that could be a really neat spot up there.
Yeah,
I mean, I remember a time we were up at Olympus was we were talking about a dog part of, I mean, just an initial conversation, but
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some great space up there. Cool. Thank you, Colette.
thank you.
Thank you.
All right, last up, we have commissioners' comments. Let's start online. Commissioner Waterman, anything tonight?
It's really, I will first say, it's really great to be here. Apologies that I missed our last commission meeting. And it's wonderful to hear the updates as to what's happening and things moving forward. Just a little insight here in Amsterdam, they're having safety issues in their parks too. But dog park, fenced in dog areas are everywhere. And so it would be great to have another one of those in Bremerton as well. But there's a lot more litter here, and I really appreciate how beautiful Bremerton parks are. So all the great work that Brian and his team are doing, as well as the Public Works Department. So those are my comments. Thank you. I'm really happy I was here
Thank you.
today or this
Yes.
evening.
Yes, so are we, Commissioner. Thank you for being
Yeah,
here.
what time is it there?
It is 3:25 a.m.
Oh,
Well,
Thank you, Commissioner.
Thanks for being up.
Welcome.
All right, Commissioner Dawson.
well, I just, it was a good presentation. I liked to hear about the dog park idea. That was really great to hear that presentation. I'm like Tim, I'm a little bit under the weather, so I'm glad that we have Zoom as an opportunity to get together without sharing germs.
Yeah, well said.
Here, here.
Yeah. Thank you, Commissioner.
Okay.
Commissioner Weigel.
I was, I have a concern from, somebody that talked to me about Evergreen. I explained to them how they're cleaning up, they're doing this mitigation with this boat and everything, all that parking for the boat launch. Well, this person, before all that was there, was saying that they truly had issues trying to launch, put in, because there'll be, POVs just parked right in where the boats are supposed to go. And I wasn't sure how to address it with this person. He knew I was on the commission, and I said, but do they just call in park? So that's what they should do. Okay, because he said he drove around several times with his big boat trying to put in, and he couldn't. And then somebody else was waiting to come in with a boat, so that's what I should tell him.
Parks will carry more weight than we can.
Okay.
We could advise them, but.
Parks would have everything to do, I mean, you have the signs up.
Right.
Do people read the signs? No, so in park.
Yeah.
Okay,
that's the
I'll let
proper
him
channel.
know, yeah, because
That's tough.
I know,
that's tough.
because there's a wonderful boat launch there for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, thanks.
Unfortunately, a small hiccup down there.
Yeah, I mean, right now,
that's out of our
it's,
control.
we got this other stuff going on, but that was what my one comment was, and it's like, I wasn't sure how to address that with him, so
Yeah.
I'll send, get in part. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Thanks, Commissioner.
Yeah,
All right.
just real briefly on that. Melinda Monroe with the city manages many different things, and one of those is our parking. And so I've chatted with her, and I think we're going to be able to see some improvements as far as wayfinding down there. So the candlesticks that have all been knocked over will get replaced. I'm hoping all of these improvements will occur this next year, so it'll be much more clear where the parkings will be. But again, it's only as useful as people want to make it for those that need it the most, especially for those boats and trailers for their parking. So we'll work with Melinda to see what we can do to address that as much as possible.
Thank you, Tim.
Yep.
All right. I don't have anything for the commission tonight. Appreciate everyone being here. Meeting adjourned. Have a good night.
Bye.
Thanks
Go
all.
back to sleep. Go back to sleep, baby.
Thank you.
Talk later.
3
o'clock.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. Don't
Minute.
forget if you can make it tomorrow.
Roger that.
Is this
City
the
council.
council?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Council.
Okay,
The pros plan.
I wrote it down, and he said he's